Okay, welcome back to the family work. This is take two of my second video, my follow-up to Club Wyndham Timeshare. My last video, unfortunately, uh, did not have very good audio, so hopefully we have better audio on this one. Um, we are at Glacier Canyon, Club Wyndham property in Wisconsin Dells, and we've been owner now for over 2 years. And if you watched my last video, it was not a great experience for us purchasing. Um, we've After we purchased and we're locked into it, we learned a lot of things. We discovered a lot of things we were told during our sales pitch were lies, and ultimately there's nothing we could do about it. So we are stuck with this timeshare. So we've tried to learn as much as we can about utilizing it wisely, economically, and that's what I kind of want to share about. So after we purchased, we didn't really do much because of the business. We couldn't take a vacation for almost a year. And then we did a quick getaway to Florida. I think it was midweek, so point values was not bad. Bonnet Creek, we couldn't even get anything there, so we had to stay at one of the other smaller properties. Well, actually, I wouldn't say smaller. It's still a big property, but it was dated. Not as nearly as many amenities on site, and location wasn't as great. So we stayed there, and it was not a bad experience overall. And then we had some of our points were going to expire, which we did not know. These were some of the bonus points they gave us. They said they're good for 2 years, but, and to be honest with you, I forget. There was a stipulation. They were only good for a year. It had to be booked by a year. So in order not to lose those points, we rolled them over to RCI, which there's no fee to roll over to RCI. But then when you go to redeem a week in RCI, you have to pay a couple $100s to use that. So it does, if you don't use your Club Wyndham points at Club Wyndham and you choose to roll them over to RCI, it's going to cost you. Of course, this is on top of your purchase price and on top of your maintenance fees that you're paying. It's just yet another additional fee. So we did, I'm trying to think, we did a week in Virginia earlier this year. There was a small splash park at that place. We went to the beach one day. We went to a water park and a theme park that was there. We did Colonial Williamsburg. So we weren't spending a lot of time at that property. There wasn't that much really. I mean, there were some amenities, don't get me wrong, but we picked that place for the location, not for the amenities. We knew we weren't going to be there except really to sleep and maybe eat a few meals. And most recently, we went on a cruise, completely not related to Club Wyndham, but rather than do the full day drive back after getting off the boat, we decided, hey, we have these points, let's see if we can try to use them. And because it was short notice, it was within I think 60 days where we fell on the VIP status, we were able to get a discount on points, and we actually found availability at Bonnet Creek, which was surprising. So with Club Wyndham, there's a 2-day minimum, so we had to go for 2 days. But because we still had housekeeping credits and transaction credits, it didn't really cost us that much money to utilize those points. And it was a pretty good deal. So we stayed there for 2 days, and for the most part, we spent a lot of time there. They had several pools, lazy rivers, some small slides there, so we didn't really do much off-site while we were there. And then we were looking to try to get one more vacation in this year before our points expired. And we were trying to find something in the Smokies, ideally wilderness there, because we had been to the Wilderness, Wisconsin, and we really enjoyed it. And the Wilderness Smokies has an indoor-outdoor water park, so we tried to do that. But availability there was very, very difficult to get something. So we couldn't find anything for Thanksgiving or the kids' fall break, and then nothing for Christmas either. Well, Christmas this year falls on a Sunday, so the kids had the full week out. And just randomly one day I was on the website surfing around, and I found that Wisconsin Dells had availability. Now, I had talked earlier about being able to find availability at your location. I've learned it depends if it's your home resort, it depends on your VIP status. There's a lot of variables as far as when you have access to availability. Um, but for us, I think it's 10 months out you can book something. So if we wanted to travel July of next summer to Wisconsin Dells, which is their peak season, then we really have to wait till September before we can book anything. And in September, there was availability. Now in December, would there be availability? I'm not sure. I know based off of last spring, we were trying to find something and there was nothing available. So if you know ahead of time, that helps you. One thing you don't really know, and there's a huge complicated process for this, is when you get your reward points, so for us it's January 1st, you have a certain amount of time, depending on your VIP status, to bank those points for future year use. So if I knew we weren't going on vacation this year, I could book our points for next year. And I don't think there's a fee for that, but with Club Wyndham, I wouldn't be surprised if there was. However, if you don't do it after that 3 months or 60 days or whatever window, then your only choice to do something with those points is roll them to over RCI, which there's no fee to do until you're ready to redeem them. And then every time you redeem them, you're going to be paying a couple $100s. So it's in your best interest to know your vacations and try to book them as soon as possible. So how I ended up here now at Wisconsin is we learned Monday through Friday or Sunday through Friday, are the cheapest days, the vacations. So that's really what we look for. We try to plan all of our travel to arrive on a Monday and leave on a Friday to maximize our points. Well, here at the Wilderness, normally I think it's like, 30,000 plus points a night on a weeknight and 45, 50 on a weekend. Well, for the Sunday through Friday before Christmas, you could get all 5 days, especially because we were within that window of VIP status, so we got a discount on it. And with VIP, you get the free room upgrade if it's available. We were able to get a 3-bedroom unit for 5 days for the price of what one normal day would be during the year. And because we had the housekeeping credits left over and all these other credits we hadn't used for non-owner guests and for transactions, essentially we were able to get the 5 days for free. Well, I take that back. We had to use 15, 20,000 points, which is a great deal because if you think about it, if you're buying 100,000 points a year, you could do 5 of those for 5 days. I mean, that's, to me, if your maintenance fee, ours now has gone up several times, goes up 5-10% every year. So we're paying, I think, like $700 a year. But to be able to have that, like the room we're in right now is 3-bedroom. I think it's like 1,500 square feet. It's huge. We got a king-size bed with a huge tub and shower master. We got another room with, I think, 2 queens and another room with a king-size, and they have their own bath, shower. And then we're in a huge room here with a full-size kitchen, dining room, all of that. So it's definitely, and for what I consider, a great deal. But because we had all these extra points, we went ahead and we just moved, so we didn't know anybody, but at the church we started going to, we just started, it was probably awkward and weird, but we just started inviting people like, hey, we just met you, but if you want a free vacation, at the largest water park resort in America, they say advertise 4 indoor, 4 outdoors, but really it's kind of 3 indoors because the other one's off-site and it's a smaller splash park, but huge wave pool and all these family sides and inside of the resort, and I'm sure there's other videos on the internet that show all this. They have this multi-story playground, laser tag, 3-level ropes course. They have go-karts, a miniature golf, all that stuff, which if you do come to the Wilderness, we discovered, so you can buy a fun pass. It's $45, but it's good for your entire trip. So buy it your first day, and then you can have access to all of that. I mean, the water parks, all that's included. The playground's included. But if you want to do the laser tag, miniature golf, the go-karts, the ropes course, and you even get some arcade credits, buy the pass your first day so you can have it for the rest of the trip. Um, but we invited even the people that where we moved from after we sold the campground. We invited families. It's hard because it was short notice and it's right before the holidays, and we knew it wasn't going to be realistic that many people could join us here. But we did have some families do it, and it was great because we're all right beside each other. We got different units because of the availability, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. But we've had a blast, and we were able to do that. We were able to bless them, and it really just cost us a couple thousand points that we weren't even going to use anyways. We were just going to roll them to RCI. So that is one benefit so far that has been a good thing from this. And I don't know if this week like this before Christmas is always going to be like this. I know we couldn't get anything in the wilderness in Tennessee. We couldn't get anything for any of the holidays. Um, where points are about to reset here January 1st, and we haven't made any vacation plans yet. It's kind of hard. You can borrow points ahead of time. So, like for a summer vacation, if we're going to go somewhere where that's peak season, we probably should have already planned and booked that because now we might not have availability. So there's some conversations we need to have, and we need to get online and try to figure out where do we want to go or what we want to do. But all that being said, we've been able to get quite a few vacations, some short-term stays. Um, the last-minute deals, we've never seen good availability on those. That's just one of the sales pitches they give you when you're buying. But um, again, the biggest reason for us as being timeshare owners is just to be able to have the space, to be able to have the amenities, and to be able to have this kind of space where you can cook your meals and be together as a family, play games. Being stuck up in a hotel somewhere is not as enjoyable. So there's a cost to that. And hopefully the more vacations we do, the more that will even out the cost from our initial purchase price. Um, but it's still, I still have a bitter taste in my mouth from the whole experience. But I just wanted to give an update that, if you were like us and you got stuck in the situation, and maybe people can give us tips, to how they are trying to make the most out of it. I don't think we're going to come back here because even though there's a lot to do here at the resort, we were here last Thanksgiving and we were here this year, and we were actually going to come in the summer because we wanted to go to Noah's Ark, the largest water park in the country. We wanted to do that in the summer and see the area during the summer. It's just so happened this was so cheap. We weren't planning on being up here, and with the time frame, the scheduling, it just all worked out perfect. The only downside is we got a couple inches of snow today, and the wind chill tomorrow morning when we check out is supposed to be, I think the wind chill is supposed to be like -40 tomorrow. So that is a downside. We're going to be driving home in that. They're saying you're not supposed to be on the road, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. But we've had fun. I think 5 days is just the right amount of time to be here. We're ready to get home, and we hope everybody has a safe and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again soon.